since you've been out of body and I've been out of body myself, I know a bit about it and it feels very real to me. What are your thoughts about what the astral plane is and what dreams are? Is that when we just go back to this unit or the soul, we connect with our realness like the computer again? I can't remember the words you use for it. Or is it sort of like an intermission or a place in between the worlds? Like I've never fully understood. Well, these things are hard to understand, but what the astral plane is, I'd love to hear your perspective.
Okay. Well, actually, there is no such place as the astral plane. What happens is that people go out of body and they have experiences, and they come back and they try to make sense of those experiences. So they really don't have the language. Our language is a language based on the objective world. It's to describe things in the objective world. Describing the things in consciousness, we don't have the concepts and the words for it. So we come back from an out of body experience and we say, wow, what was that? And if we do a lot of those things, we start making up a story in our mind that makes the most sense to us to describe it. And then if we just do a good job of that, then others hear that and they pick up that same model. So the astral plane is just one of those descriptions that we've made up. And now it's kind of in our collective consciousness. We all kind of share those sorts of concepts. But there's not really a space called the astral plane. That doesn't exist that way. There's just consciousness. And you as a piece of consciousness can do everything that consciousness can do. You have all the abilities that the larger conscious system has, except you have them in a much smaller package. You don't have the capacity that it has. That's the whole thing. But you're a piece of it, and you can do everything consciousness can do. You can connect mind to mind with any other consciousness. It doesn't have to be human. You can travel around in consciousness. You can explore it. There's other virtual realities out there besides ours. We're not the only virtual reality that's out there. There's other virtual realities. There's other entities that aren't in any of these virtual realities. They live elsewhere. So there's dreams. Now, what the dream world is that you're here to make choices, and by those choices, evolve or de-evolve the quality of your consciousness. And you work all day at that, and you work all night at that. Your dream reality is just another virtual reality. And it's not any more or less real than this virtual reality that we call the physical universe. That's our virtual reality that we play in. And we're on one little planet in a big universe. But the whole universe is our virtual reality. There are other universes elsewhere. So when you sleep at night, which is a requirement of the body, that you give it a rest to regroup itself in its energy, then you still work. You go into a different reality. You go into the dream reality, and that dream reality is different. It has a different rule set. Here, our rule set kind of knows every energy exchange that happens as part of our rule set. In a dream reality, we can teleport, we can fly, we can do all sorts of things that we can't do here. But we're still doing the same thing. We're making choices. Every choice you make in a dream will help you evolve or de-evolve, just like the choices you make here. Whether you're in this virtual reality or that virtual reality or some other virtual reality in some other universe, it doesn't matter. All the choices you make are for the same reason. You make a choice based on who you are at the core, your quality, and then that choice helps you evolve or de-evolve, whether it's toward love or toward fear. And the wonderful thing about the dream reality that makes it so valuable a place to make choices is that when you're in your dream reality, you leave your intellect behind for the most part. Now, if you take your intellect with you, that's called a lucid dream. That's different. But just a normal dream, you don't take your intellect along. So you are who you are at the core. So in that dream reality, the choices that you make are the choices that you really would make at your core. That's you. So if you've done things in that dream reality that are really awful, well, That's you. You've got that awfulness in you because the choices you make in your dream are a reflection of who you are at the core. Now, if you've done some really nice things in that dream, you've been helpful, you've been, wanting to know how could you help and how can you serve and what can you do for others, then you will have evolved by making those choices. So it's another space in which we get to do the same thing we're doing here. But the advantage is one, we can't game the system with our intellects, try to do what we think we should do, like pretending to be kind. We actually are, or we are not kind in the dream reality because our intellect isn't there to play image. It's just you who are there. And also, that dream reality will give you experiences that you couldn't have here. If you had them here, it would create a lot of dysfunction. Let's say you have a dream and you are in this 5-story apartment building. You and 100 other people are in this apartment building, and you realize that the building's on fire and no alarms have been set yet. You just look outside and you can see fire coming up from the bottom of the building. Now you have a choice. Do you run out of the building? Do you grab your stuff and run out of the building to save yourself? Or do instead you go up to the 5th floor and try to wake everybody up and tell them the building's on fire, and then the 4th floor, and then so on, and finally get in your stuff and taking it out? Well, that's a choice. Do you care mostly about yourself, or do you care about other people? Are you willing to risk yourself in order to save a lot of other people? That's a choice. Now, to have that choice here in this physical reality was cause all kinds of mayhem because they're all, it all matters. These are the people in your dream. It's just information. Well, it's information here too, but it's information at a tighter level, tighter rule set. There, these are just, it's just all arranged for you. It's like you're in this little vignette where it's been set up for you to make a choice. And you make your choice. You run out of the building by yourself, or you go in and wake everybody up. And then when it's done, dream ends, and you go into the next dream. That was just given to you. It was a set of experiences given to you that would be hard to give to you in this reality without affecting a whole lot of other people. But this way, it just affects you. So the dream reality is a very good additional learning space. I call this reality a entropy reduction trainer for individuated units of consciousness. We're in a trainer here, just like pilots get in a flight trainer many, many hours before they ever get in a real airplane. So it's the same sort of thing. We're in an entropy reduction trainer for individuated units of consciousness to grow up. And our dreams are just another part of that training process. And our out of bodies are just another way that we can explore consciousness. And a good way to think of an out of body is that here we have a multiplayer game. We're playing with a lot of other players. So what we do affects others, and what others do affect us. Most of the out of bodies are one-on-one games. This is a multiplayer game. It's a single player game when you go out of body for the most part. Oh, you can interact with others, all right. I almost always do interact with others, but those others are just like all the other people that were in that apartment building. Those others are there to interact with you in a way that gives you choices and gives you opportunity to learn and to grow and understand. So mostly an out of body is a one-on-one video game as well as this, but not always. I did go out of body with Dennis. We went out of body together, and we saw a lot of things together. We had conversations with each other. Bob had that recorded back in the lab. We were in individual rooms that we couldn't hear each other at all. We were in isolation booths, and he recorded what Dennis said, and he recorded separately what I said, and he rewound the tapes and started them at the same time,
Wow.
to put them so they're synchronized. And then there's Dennis and I having conversations with each other, even though we were totally isolated acoustically from each other. So we had gotten together out of body and had this long trip, things we saw, people we talked to, things we did, and it was all there. And we obviously were together for all that because we were communicating. So Yeah, it's a that
Fascinating.
yeah.
You're not like an ordinary physicist, and I'm curious. I'm curious what your colleague have they have reacted and responded to you speaking about these things. Are you
Mhm.
noticing a difference and a development
Yeah.
there in a positive way?
Yeah, it's like this the physicists that I get to work with or know, that actually take the time to look at my theory, my sense of reality, almost always after they understand it, they agree with it. They like it because it solves so many problems in physics that are unsolvable, and the solutions don't have any other solution.
To watch the full video, click the link below, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel.